I thought the first half we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad turnovers. Coincidentally, we didn't come up on the three-point shooters twice, and they made them. The second half, we went with the five guys who play the best, most consistent defense, and it's the first game we've had the five guys at the end of the game. If we didn't have the five guys at the end of the game, we wouldn't have won, like all those games. But having those guys at the end gave us a chance to win the game. I think we shot 64% in the second half. We had better movement. We got better shots. And all five guys were tremendous. We had trouble with Wright, but, we got just enough. We got a couple stops, not many, down there. He was really good. He missed 3 shots. And, they got to the foul line. We did a better job in the second half on Alvarado and DeVoe. DeVoe had nothing second half. But, they were going to go inside, and, we had to contain that. We can give up points inside. We can't give up the inside and the outside. And the first half, we gave up 4 3-pointers, second half just 2. And 1 was at the end. But, again, this was a hard game to win. The way they've been playing, they won here last year. This was always going to be a hard game. And when we got off to a bad first half, it was really hard. And really proud of them, the way those 5 guys battled in there. Boeheim, this is what Boeheim can do. He can do what he did today. And, it may not look like much, but it's 10 rebounds, 6 points, 3 steals. He can do that on a more consistent. And he missed his 3 free throws. He missed a layup. He got 1 block. So, he's very capable of doing that. And he makes us just different when he can do those things. But again, this was to me, this is one of the best second halves we've ever played anywhere. And we've obviously struggled the last few games, struggled at the end. I don't think anybody was tired today. But this was a tremendous win, considering they're winning and we're losing and we're down. So it was key. We got off to a good start. Second half, got back in it quick, and then we just kept battling. Questions?
Jim, what were your players like at halftime?
Well, I don't. They listened.
It was just normal, quiet, X's and O stuff?
They weren't crying or anything.
Was there anything you said in particular to the players at half?
We just have to compete. You've got to compete. Marek, you've got to stay out of foul trouble. We had a couple sets we wanted to run, and we got those right away. Then the end of the game, we went with Marek, and, he was tremendous at the end of the game. Tremendous. He made some, I think, 4 or 5 plays in a row. He made his free throws. When he plays like this, we're a different team. He struggled to do anything, really. And we're a whole different team, offensively and defensively. We can't win when he's in foul trouble or Brahms in foul. We just can't win. We can compete, maybe, but we can't win. And they just have to stay out of foul trouble. And Marek needs to do what he did today. He may not always get 20, but he's got to take advantage of matchups. They had nobody to guard him for a little while there. That's why we went to him. And, I thought Buddy got much. They played him hard, just like everybody's going to play him all year. But he got in there, and he made some things happen, which I thought was good. But, it was Joe's right there on the verge. He missed 2 or 3 layups, 2 or 3 shots he can make. He missed a couple threes he can make. He's close. Those guys are getting better. But the key is Marek and Boeheim have to be there. We don't have these freshmen are not ready in any way, shape, or form to be on the court.
What made Marek such a good option there for you in the last few minutes of the game?
He had a good matchup. He had a big guy, couldn't defend him, and then they did go with a smaller guy on him, but he he had the confidence going then, so we still went to him. He made plays.
So Banks fouling out kind of played into that, right?
I think that helps, but, Banks wasn't the problem, really. The problem was Wright. That was the problem. I think DeVoe and Alvarado getting in foul trouble helped a little bit. They weren't quite as aggressive, but, they're physical, they reach, they bang, there's going to be fouls in those situations.
Can you speak a little bit to Moses Wright and what you've seen in him develop over the time?
He's been good. He was good even though we won by a lot. You could see it, and I've seen him the last couple tapes we've looked at. I mean, he's good. He's really good in the middle, and we don't defend that area of the court very well. But he was really good today. He made some tough plays in there.
Was Barama doing anything differently to stay out of foul trouble at least until deep into the second half?
Yeah, I mean, he was better. He was much better. No foolish fouls. He's going to have to commit fouls, but he just can't commit foolish fouls so that he's out of the game in 20 minutes. I mean, he got 24 and 25 in tonight, so that's pretty good.
Is playing with confidence and being assertive a big thing from Iraq?
I think he does that. I just think some games some teams are more physical with him, and he can't handle it. Played, Florida State, and Louisville were really physical, and he's just not strong enough right now.
Coach, what about Buddy's leadership tonight? Did you see anything from him?
I think everybody's leading. We have a lot of guys that are trying to pull and do the right things, and Elijah's been really good talking, but those guys, Buddy and Joe, are playing against two really good players, junior and sophomore that have been around, played a lot of games, and they're really good players. I think they had 40 or something the last game they played, maybe more, and they're playing against good people, really good people.
Jim, in the second half, you got out in transition a lot. I think you outscored him by 12 or 14 in transition. And why were you able to get the ball off the glass, I guess, and get it out?
No, we didn't get off the glass. I think there were some deflections and steals, and, that's how you get out. It's hard for us to get it off. We don't get too many clean rebounds, so it's mostly that way.
Jim, you mentioned the stats don't always show maybe Barama's value. What is it that maybe we don't see? Or
Well, the shots they missed, and when there, he was defending it and bothering it, and, I mean, he was, he's the only guy in the center spot. He can get 10 rebounds. He can block a shot. He can maybe get a steal. He's better than he's played. Even though he played pretty well today, he's really better than that. It's just kind of a mystery to me why he hasn't been better. I think he is better than what he's doing. But hopefully he'll play better, keep playing better.
When you had the 4 subs in there in the first half along with Elijah, were you sending those other starters a message?
No, we weren't playing good. We had to see if something would change. Somebody might help us or something, but it wasn't good.
With the way the first half went for you all offensively, the second half you guys were able to kind of get the offense going there. What did you see offensively that allowed that spark to happen and kind of sit on for the rest of the half?
Elijah made a couple plays right away. Then, Joe hit that 3. Buddy made a couple shots. When the ball goes in the basket, the game's a lot easier. First half, we had some pretty good shots. We missed. You got to make shots. When we make shots, we're better. That's the bottom line. You're not going to beat anybody if you don't make some shots. We made some shots in the second half. We're 7 for 26 the first half and 16 for 25 the second half. Part of it's easier shots, better movement maybe. We're still not making a lot of threes. I think that's just who we are, really. We're not making those. And we have to get to the paint and try to get inside and score in there. That's what we've been trying to do, but get to the foul line, get in the paint. We haven't been shooting it very well for a long time, so that's not new. You try to adjust and try to get something where you can. At halftime, this was a very hard game to win, really hard game to win. And after you've lost 3 in a row, whatever it is, it's even harder. And I thought the players just went out there and just ignored what happened and played. ignored what has happened. And, it's a tremendous tribute to those 5 guys. They went out there and they played.
It especially seems like Joe came out with a certain amount of spark in that second half. He was part of that 7-0 run. Does he seem to have a little more, maybe, ability to kind of turn the corner, have that energy no
He's
matter
getting
what?
better. I mean, he's improving. He has that ability. First half he couldn't do it. Second half he did. And he's missing shots that I know he can make too. But it'll come. He's a freshman. We're asking an awful lot from him to do all that he has to do for us, and he's been really good. Really has had a great year. Him and Buddy had a really good year. But we need Marek and Boeheim to play. That's what we want. If those guys are sitting on the bench, we're talking about losing our 4th straight game. So they've got to stay in the game. And, every game in this league is crazy. It's really hard, and it'll be really hard Wednesday. So we get a day off, then we start getting ready for that, see what happens. All right, thanks.